And we're back. This is Eric and Robin Gagnon, the Restaurant Brokers. And today we'd like to thank Today's Restaurant, the food service industry newspaper, one of our sponsors. Today's Restaurant is the trade newspaper for the food service industry in Georgia and Florida. They have positioned themselves as their total marketing solution to sell a service or a product for a restaurant in Georgia and Florida. Just go to our website, trnusa.com, and fill out the form or visit their website to read back issues and their archive sections. That's trnusa.com.
Since we're back on the air, we've grabbed another expert in the whole idea of online and email marketing, Jim Hamilton of In Touch Dining. You heard his bio at the top of the show. And we also talked about a statistic that just blows me away. As of September, a number came out that said more email is read on a mobile device than on a desktop. So Jim's company, while they do search engine optimization and web development and other things, they also focus on creating loyal customers through email as well as social media. So, Jim, that makes your company very relevant to today's discussion, right?
Absolutely. Email marketing, added with the social media, different tools, has created a tremendous opportunity for restaurants to really capitalize on that customer messaging.
And how frequently should a restaurant operator reach out with email marketing to their database?
It really depends on the type of format of the restaurant. If it's a heavy event-oriented restaurant, a weekly communication is not out of the question. If they have bands and special events. If it's more of a traditional table service, probably twice a month is what we recommend as a good touch point. And then, of course, with email marketing, touching them for their special occasions like birthday and anniversary, and when they first join, welcome them into the club with perhaps a gift or offer is also wise.
You see the value of email marketing as a complement or as a silo separate to Facebooks and LinkedIn. What is the different expectations people should have with email marketing versus the social media platforms that Sean and Matt talked about today?
Sure, they really blend together. Email marketing has been around longer than social media, of course, but where they blend well together is the email marketing still maintains a one-on-one relationship. So, as a person, in their travels and like mentioned on their phone, gets that message, it's very specific to them in that regard. They open it, they could react to it, they could share it, over to Facebook, which is done pretty often, really. Particularly with events, and you really got an opportunity to capitalize on that one-on-one. Hit people at 11 o'clock with some information about a lunch special, as an example.
And it seems like from the beginning of time, there have been those punch cards and those old-fashioned ways to build loyalty with customers and keep them coming back. But you've kind of just flipped that on its head with electronic loyalty programs. Talk with us a little bit about loyalty-based reward programs and how those are sort of growing in the restaurant space. Do they really help bring that customer back to the restaurant?
Absolutely. If deployed properly, a strategy of offering, a loyalty card per se, but nowadays it's going more virtual card, where the people use their cell phone number that essentially becomes their identity or their card number. That has become a frequency, driver. And the reason why, and that's where email and the social media all blend together, that there's really not one strategy in itself that really drives that frequency. It's a multitude of them placed together. For example, an email driving an event that also gets posted to friends on Facebook that gets more awareness, that then, that particular person that shared that gets to come in and get their free lunch because they've met their 5 threshold, or they're getting close to their 300 point. At 300 points, they get a free entree. So the point-based, reward-based loyalty initiatives, particularly those that's tied into a point-of-sale system, have becoming, almost necessary over the next couple of years. You've seen it kind of start slow. It started in other industries where everybody had a keychain, card on their, their keychain, for loyalty, for groceries and drugstores and the like. And then now you're seeing it come over to the restaurant, to where the competitive nature, that's not a requirement, but a well-designed loyalty program continues to kind of robustly put out that that value to you as a customer.
Jim, what about messaging? You know, in an email, you can write a novel, you can have a one-liner. What sort of successful messaging have you seen working really effectively for a restaurant? And on the other side of that, what are some of the worst email messages you've seen out there that were like, oh my God, I can't believe you guys sent that?
Sure. Well, first of all, the look needs to match your brand. So many people grab template-based systems and they really diminish their brand sometimes. Fine dining will send out a something that really doesn't fit their brand well or represent their brand well. So they take that as an impression, no different than a sign out front that's rusty and doesn't look good. So it's kind of from that regard. As far as the bad piece, again, I call it the carpal tunnel piece. That it's so long with content and boorish that you contract carpal tunnel syndrome if you try to scroll through the whole thing. That's a no-no. We coach people and help people establish one or two or perhaps a 3 call to actions in a graphical, tasteful format that people can ingest in 20 seconds, get excited, react to it, and then subsequently share it, with their friends. That's where the Facebook and the email could really blend nicely.
So 3 calls to action and kind of 20 seconds. It's almost like the old billboard rule. You've got to get in, get out, get their attention at a fast kind of a drive-by electronically.
Absolutely. They'll spend a full minute or more, but if you don't capture their interest right away, or they immediately see that, wow, if I deal with this now, I'll be reading it for 5 minutes. And then once you capture their interest, you could lay out, tastefully and easily to absorb, the main message you wish to convey, which is not, like mentioned in your prior guest, not always selling something. We found that food tips, origin of foods, difference between, lobster and rock lobster, and, so you mix up the content to where you're really adding value to that opportunity they've given you to communicate with them.
That is such good information. We are so happy you joined us today, and we're going to have to end the interview there because we're just running short on time. Remember, this is Eric and Robin Gagnon. We are the Restaurant Brokers. We're with We Sell Restaurants. We operate the largest restaurant brokerage in the company based on the number of listings, transaction count, and volume. We are franchising nationwide and have offices in Florida, Colorado, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Georgia. Stay by your radio. We'll be right back.